Welcome back, folks. Ready for another dark lesson in American history? This week, we take you to a spot in rural America that is supposedly one of the most haunted locations in all of the U.S. When you hear about its dark past and see some of the photos, you'll probably agree. Before we go there though, please take a moment to like our video if you love the kind of content we make. Subscribing to our channel helps out more than you can ever imagine as well. Sit back, grab a drink and snack and get ready to be spooked by one of the scariest places in all the land. The Waverly Hills Sanatorium. Nestled in the hills of Louisville, Kentucky stands a decrepit relic of a bygone era, Waverly Hills Sanatorium. Once a beacon of hope for those suffering from tuberculosis, the sanatorium is now a crumbling reminder of the disease's devastating toll. But more than its history of suffering and death, Waverly Hills is also known for its reputation as one of the most haunted places in America. The sanatorium opened its doors in 1910, at the height of the tuberculosis epidemic. TB was a highly contagious and incurable disease, and Waverly Hills was designed to provide an isolated place where patients could receive treatment and care. The sanatorium was a massive 5-story structure with a capacity of over 400 patients. It was equipped with state-of-the-art facilities, including a surgical suite, X-ray machine, and laboratory. Despite the best efforts of the staff, the death toll at Waverly Hills was high. Over 63,000 patients died from tuberculosis during the sanatorium's years of operation. Many of these patients were buried in an on-site cemetery, which is now marked by a simple stone marker. Waverly Hills closed its doors in 1961, as tuberculosis had become more treatable with the advent of antibiotics. After its closure, the sanatorium fell into disrepair and quickly became a magnet for vandals and paranormal investigators. Rumors of hauntings at Waverly Hills began to circulate shortly after its closure. Visitors reported seeing strange apparitions, hearing disembodied voices, and feeling cold spots and other unexplained phenomena. One of the most common reports is of a young woman dressed in white who is said to be the ghost of a patient who died from tuberculosis. Another popular ghost story is that of a former employee named Tim Brown who is said to have hung himself in the sanatorium's tunnel. Brown's ghost is said to be particularly active in the tunnel, and visitors have reported seeing him hanging from the rafters or hearing his footsteps echoing through the darkness. In recent years, Waverly Hills has been open to the public for tours and paranormal investigations. Visitors can now explore the sanatorium's crumbling corridors and patient rooms, and learn about its fascinating history and haunting reputation. Some of the most famous haunted places at Waverly Hills Sanatorium include the Body Chute. Waverly Hills was one of the first hospitals to use a body chute to transport deceased patients to the morgue. The chute is said to be haunted by the spirits of the many patients who died at the sanatorium. Visitors have reported hearing screams and cries coming from the chute, and some have even claimed to see ghostly apparitions emerge from it. Room 502, Kitch, is known as the Death Room because of the high number of patients who died there. Visitors have reported seeing strange shadows and hearing disembodied voices in the room. Some have even claimed to have been physically attacked by ghosts. It's also where a nurse reportedly hung herself sometime back in the 1930s. There are many legends pertaining to her death. One common story is that the nurse was unmarried and pregnant, and that the father of the baby was a doctor at the sanatorium. When the doctor refused to acknowledge the child, the nurse became distraught and hanged herself. Another story is that the nurse was suffering from tuberculosis herself, and that she hanged herself because she could not bear the thought of dying. It is also possible that the nurse's suicide was unrelated to her job or her health. She may have been struggling with personal issues, such as depression or anxiety. Whatever the reason for her suicide, the nurse's death has left a lasting legacy at Waverly Hills Sanatorium. Her ghost is said to haunt room 502, the room where she died. Visitors have reported seeing her apparition, hearing her cries, and feeling her presence in the room. The tunnel. The tunnel at Waverly Hills was used to transport food and supplies from the main building to the patient wards. It is said to be haunted by the ghost of Tim Brown, the former employee who hanged himself there. Visitors have reported seeing Brown's ghost hanging from the rafters or hearing his footsteps echoing through the darkness. Waverly Hills Sanatorium is a fascinating and terrifying place. Its history of suffering and death has made it a prime target for paranormal investigators and ghost hunters. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, there is no denying that Waverly Hills is a place with a dark and haunting past. A group of paranormal investigators were conducting an investigation at the sanatorium when they heard a loud noise coming from one of the patient wards. When they went to investigate, they found that a window had been thrown open, even though there was no wind outside. Another visitor to the sanatorium was taking a tour of the tunnel when she felt a cold hand touch her shoulder. She turned around, but there was no one there. A group of ghost hunters were filming a documentary at the sanatorium when they captured a strange image on their camera. The image showed a shadowy figure standing in one of the doorways. Waverly Hills has been investigated extensively over the years by many famous celebrities as well as TV shows, including the popular paranormal television show, Ghost Hunters, investigated Waverly Hills in 2 separate episodes. The first episode aired in 2007, and the second episode aired in 2011. The paranormal television show, Paranormal Witness, investigated Waverly Hills in an episode that aired in 2008. The British paranormal television show, Most Haunted, investigated Waverly Hills in a 2-part episode that aired in 2013. Zach Bagans, the host of the paranormal television show, Ghost Adventures, has visited Waverly Hills on multiple occasions. He has also written a book about the sanatorium, titled Waverly Hills Sanatorium, Beyond the Body Chute. According to the Waverly Hills Sanatorium website, over 63,000 patients died from tuberculosis during the sanatorium's years of operation. However, some sources claim that the death toll is actually closer to 80,000. The sanatorium was in operation from 1910 to 1961. And it was one of the largest tuberculosis hospitals in the world. Many of these patients were buried in an on-site cemetery, which is now marked by a simple stone marker. What do you think? Would you visit or walk through the Waverly Hills Sanatorium at night? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop them in a comment below. As always, thank you so much for watching and taking the time to subscribe to our channel. We love and appreciate each and every one of you. Till next time, thanks for watching.